Hi, welcome back to another video at Mixing Plants and Crafts. My name is Rachel, and today I wanted to share with you 4 plants that have brought me great joy and a little bit of struggles since I've had them. But before I get into the video, I wanted to share with you a few things that's up and coming on this channel. I have a love of plants, as you know, and I also have a love for crafting. So we're going to be marrying both together on this channel. So on certain videos, there will be some plant craft. I will let you know ahead of time when I'll be doing the plant craft on this channel. I just need to figure out the materials before I give an actual date for the plant crafts. But I'm really excited for the plant crafts. Some really great things planned. So let's get into today's video. So the first plant I have is the Hoya Pubicalyx Silver Splash. This plant, so gorgeous, it's so shiny. It has brought me so much joy. I have loved owning this plant. It's quite an easy Hoya to work with. I got this plant February of last year in a 4-inch pot, and it's grown so much for me since I had it. When I started giving it a lot more light very early on, and it's just started growing for me. It starts to grow with it started giving me a lot of vines, and then I put it on a trellis and it grew all these leaves. How gorgeous is this plant? I did notice that I started giving it more light during winter, and since then it's giving me a lot more splashes, and the splashes are turning to pink splashes. I would assume this would be like what sun stressing would look like, and if this is the case, I'm always going to give this plant more light, even in summer. I'm going to either have a grow light on it or give it that extra sun it might need, like a west window. This is a north window right here, and that window is west, and it usually sits on a west window. But once spring comes, it's going to get so much more light, and I'm excited to see if I get more splashes. So the struggle I have with this plant is it's zero struggle. I don't really have any struggles with this plant other than I am wanting it to bloom so badly. I have not experienced a Hoya bloom before. I'm looking forward to having that one day with either this plant or another Hoya. I'm actually hoping it's this plant that will give me a bloom first, since I've just had this plant kind of explode in foliage since I've had it. Kind of want this one to bloom first, but let's see, hoping that if I continue to leave it in this pot and let it get a little bit more root bound, it would give me some blooms. We'll see. I have it in a clear pot, and you can see how nice the roots are looking. So I'm hoping it'll give me some more roots, and then I get some blooms. Yay, this plant, you should get one. This plant is so gorgeous. Silvery splash. Look at that. Love it. The next plant I have is the red Maranta and the lemon lime Maranta. These plants, so pretty. I have a lot more of these plants. These are the 2 mother plants I have, and there's 1, 2, 3. There's 1, 2. There's 2 other red Maranta plus a cutting. And I have 2 green Marantas around the house. I'll show you the second Maranta. It's small. This is the second lemon lime Maranta, and this is the first one. I kind of want to, I'm eventually going to merge them together into the same pot, but I want this to get a little bit more mature. Maybe I can propagate this one before I put it in this pot. I'm not sure. That is a flower that's coming out. When a Maranta gives you flowers, it indicates that it's happy, just so you know. All right, let's put this back. I think I got this plant early last year. It came in a 4-inch pot, and it grew quite a bit for me. I've already propagated this red Maranta, and this is These are the propagations I have. It's growing quite a bit. So I'm not sure if I'm going to merge them together. Kind of just want to have another plant somewhere else in the house. I want Marantas all over the house. I love them. So this plant bloomed for me in August. It's a good indication because the plant was kind of telling me it was happy, because it was blooming. I know some people don't like the blooms, they want foliage, but I wanted the blooms too. The blooms are not anything fancy. If I can figure out how to put a footage of a bloom of a prayer plant, you'll see it, but it's nothing fancy, but it's a great indication to let you know your plant is happy. And that makes me very happy. When I first started learning about plants, I learned about the Marantas, and I learned that they were also called prayer plants. So that made me want to buy more. I purchased a bunch for my friends and another one for myself. But because they were called prayer plants, for me and my life, it's a good reminder for me of our prayer life. And it's not just a reminder to pray, but as prayer as a reminder that is a place that we can go for relief from stress, from hurts, from sadness. Even when we're happy, we get to praise. So one of these plants for me is a great reminder for that. So why they're called prayer plants is that the leaves will fold down during the day, and at night it folds up. It is so nice when I come into the plant room at night and I see the prayer plant leaves have moved a little higher. It's so cool to see. I absolutely love these plants. This is my second red Maranta. I did get another red Maranta, and it did not acclimate too well in our home. It kind of struggled a little bit. Yeah, I still have it. But when I got this second Maranta, this just blew up in foliage. So it kind of tells you you can have the same plant in the same location and have it behave very differently. This one came, this one just blew up and gave me all this foliage, and I was even able to propagate it, but the other one, a struggle. So I'm so happy that I was able to figure out how to take care of this plant and how to get a bushier, healthy plant. Even the lemon lime Maranta struggled a little bit last year. I had it was like a bald spot in the middle, like just soil. It kind the middle of it kind of died off, so it just left like a lot of soil. So what I did, I purchased a starter lemon lime Maranta and I plop it in the middle to give me a full head of plant. So since I did that, and it's just been growing for me. The only pain points I have with the lemon lime Maranta and red Maranta is that they slow down quite a bit in growth during winter, and it gave me a little bit of concern. And January here in the Midwest, I don't know what you experienced in January, but it was very cold and I was very concerned for these plants. Every night I was moving them into the middle of the rooms, and the longer the heat was turning on, the lower the humidity got. And of course, once the humidity starts dropping, spider mites will come. And I did get a spider mite infestation, and it did not touch this plant. So thankful. So the other struggle I have with this plant is I really have a hard time keeping it watered. Marantas do like a moist soil, and that is something I struggle with. So I'm considering moving them to a self-watering pot. But other than that, that is the only problems I have with this plant. It is another easy plant that I have. So my third plant is this one. It is a Philodendron Florida Beauty reverted. I got a reverted one because I cannot afford all those variegations. So the reverted one was way cheaper, and I'm happy I purchased it. It's doing really well. I got this plant as a cutting in May of last year. I love this plant so much is because Florida is in the name. I love all things Florida because I'm an ex-Floridian living in the Midwest. We moved into this new house in July, and I have forgotten about this plant. I have had it in my IKEA greenhouse cabinet, and I kind of forgot about it. So I kind of took it out a few weeks ago to see how it's doing. And that's when I noticed this leaf right here, and another one was on its way. So I kind of I moved it out of the cabinet because it is getting quite bigger. I want to put it on a moss pole so that I can get bigger leaves. But the only struggle I have is that I don't have any struggles with this plant other because I kind of forgot about it. So it might have some struggles towards me because I forgot about it. I ignored it completely. Yeah, this is a beautiful plant. I do want to get bigger leaves, so I will be trying to, maybe I'll put it on a moss pole. The fourth plant I have to share is the Monstera Peru. The thing I love about this plant is that it's gorgeous. Everything else is a struggle. So I wanted to pick a plant that has brought me a lot of struggles since all the other three have been so easy. This plant have died for me. This is my third try with this plant. So the first plant I had died back and cut it into wet sticks. I bought another plant that died. I cut those into wet sticks. So those wet sticks have given me a third plant. So this one is from, I forget which wet stick this was from. I think this was the first wet stick propagation I did, and this one was the second since this one's a little bigger. And yeah, so I have this in fluval stratum, and it's kind of really taken off since I've put it in fluval. Um, I use fluval for all my propagations now since it is just so great. But yeah, it's growing for me. I don't know if it's going to stay alive. We'll see. Um, I don't know if this coloration is that I'm giving it too much light in the cabinet. I might just take it away from the cabinet and leave it out here to see if there's a color change. I don't know. I want to succeed with this plant, but it's been nothing but struggles. I will say that the wet sticks took a long time to propagate with this particular plant. I have had wet sticks propagate in like 2 weeks, but this took me almost a year. Is that normal? I hope the third try works and we'll see. So I hope you enjoyed this video and learned some things about plants. Also, if you have any tips to share on any of the plants I shared, I would really appreciate it, especially that Monstera Peru, because this is my third try. I think I'm going to give this plant one more try and then I'm going to chuck it. But thank you so much for watching again, and I'll see you next week.